Hey guys, what's going on? I just got Ruby. It's like 7 o'clock. Hey, I'm a little disappointed that they're not doing any updates on little Dane Paulsen. That's scaring me. That's making me wonder if this case is flipping. Which, like I said, y'all know my opinion. I've thought that since day 2, but I don't know. It's just heartbreaking, right? You would think they'd be giving a couple of updates a day. I mean, I don't know. It's just, you'd think as small as this baby is that, they would be pushing this everywhere. It just seems like it's not being talked about that much, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. I wish I was close to that area. I'd be out there every day. Thing is, I don't know, maybe they're working on something totally different, because the last little update they really kind of did that news station put out was they weren't saying it was criminal, but yet they weren't ruling it out, and then they were asking for anybody that might know anything to please come forward. So that's telling me they're wanting to know how this child was treated everyday life, and they want to know a lot of things now. And I don't know. I'm not saying that anybody's guilty. I'm not saying that. I don't think it had anything to do with the parents. I think it was somebody in a boat. That's just my opinion. Because that seems to be a way that they could have clearly done this. And, if you have a trolling motor and you're just running trout lines or something of that nature, trolling motors aren't loud at all. They just run off of a battery, like a car battery. So they make very little noise. I don't know. Like I said, I wish I was closer. That way I could go check it out for myself. It's tough, because I was going to be off 2 weeks, and then they ended up having to, it's just crazy at work. We got a lot of pressure and a lot of gas pockets and things going on, so it's not too pretty right now. It's kind of a little scary, but we'll get it back under control. That's what we do. But 20 plus years, I think we'll get it fixed, hopefully. Pray to God willing. Anyway, enough of that, but I would love to be there, right? Where me and Ruby could go see what's going on for ourselves. And I know once I retire here in a year or so, then I'm really, hoping that by then that I'll be okay enough to travel everywhere, right? Any case that's going on. Go and be boots on the ground right away, and then that's how we really get the answers, right? Is if we can get there and get on the ground and get around the area and look at it and look it over and see the parents, see their reaction, see how everybody else is acting, and that's always makes it easier. And I was really praying that maybe they had found him and they didn't come out yet and say anything. Maybe, I don't know, because now they're kind of like, well, we could have missed him in the bushes. We could have, and I understand that little, he could have crawled under some hedges or something to try to get warm. But with him never doing it before, unless he has kind of wandered and they've never said that, I can't find anything that says this boy's ever done this before. And so, I don't know, but little boys, and the mom said that he's fearless. He doesn't mind strangers. He likes cars. He loves the water. If a little boat would have been going by, of course, he's a little curious. He would have ran down there, and it could have just been bad intentions, right? And I pray I'm wrong. I do. I really pray I'm wrong. I do. I hope. I don't know. It's so hard to think, They tracked down the one car, so I think if there'd have been any other cars in that area, since it's so kind of remote in such a small little area, I think they would have been able to track that down. But I'm sure they pulled Google Earth photos right away, and I don't know, it depends on where the satellites were in orbit at the time, what they could get, but I don't know. And sometimes I get it, you just have to keep searching. But I think if he'd have been in that water as shallow as the majority of that river is, by going back, now I went back like 10 years and was checking the differences and how much it had changed over 10 years. And the majority of it seemed like it was 5 feet, 7 feet, 2 feet. Like, it wasn't very deep in a lot of places around that area. At least unless those charts are wrong, but I don't believe they are, but it could be. They're usually pretty accurate. And I mean, the river that day I think was moving around 12 to 15. You know, that's a pretty good movement. But as far as they went down, 90 miles or so, I mean, down, I mean, they have gone, I mean, they've searched an area of 300 and something square miles. I mean, that is, whew, that's a lot. And I'm sure they did that with airplanes, fixed wing planes and things of that nature, but drone cameras on, you know, different planes. But God, you would think by now, right? And I just wish people would talk about this more. This is a 2-year-old little baby. I mean, his whole life is ahead of him. I don't know. It's heartbreaking. It's hard to work all day and then have to talk about it. But, you know, somebody's got to talk about this little baby. And I just wish more people would, you know, get on it. And if you know, if you live within a couple 100 miles, it's not hard to jump in a vehicle and just go help, you know. And I know some people just don't like to get involved, and some people just can't do it physically. But I get that part of it. But I don't know. I just wish I was closer. I wish I was Superman and had a cape, right? And I could just fly everywhere, right? Grab Ruby and go, right? Be there in seconds, right? And it's just weather too changes things, and I don't know. Sometimes I get lucky and I can grab a little private flight, and you know, my buddy, he's got a plane, and he can, if he's going those areas, I just, you know, pay him a little bit, bam, I go, you know, I'll search for a day and get back on a plane and come home. And it makes it nice on a small plane like that because I don't have to worry about checking Ruby in, right? I can just go, get on and go. But I just wish it was a lot closer to me, and that would be, of course, I could be there, but I can't, and I have to face that. But guys, let's keep this little boy in our prayers, right? Something is not adding up here. When law enforcement changes the tune like that after 9 days, it really starts making you wonder, because they know exactly how much of that river they've covered. And you know, if you go by the flow of the river, which is what they're going to go by, and his body weight, they're calculated that in the first couple of days, then they would know exactly. Then they would usually go 3 to 5 miles past and then work their way back. But I mean, that's usually how water searches work. But I don't know. I just, you know, being that shallow, I'm just scared. I'm scared that he didn't get in that water. I just have a bad gut feeling that like I said, it's some kind of boat involved, and I do believe it's foul play somehow, some way. You know, there's so many people in this world that we always think about the bad, but then again, sometimes people, look at that little boy, that child that was found after what was it, 15 years or 7 years, that little boy the other day. And you know, people sometimes just want a child so bad that they just grab one, you know, that's not theirs, which is heartbreaking. But he didn't have anything bad to say, right? I mean, the guy just spoiled him rotten. He had all the birthday photos and all these things. It's just crazy. But, you know, some people just want a child that bad. And, I mean, we don't ever talk about those types of people, right? And those make me wonder, you know. You say a man's going down the boat, right? And him and his wife had tried 5 or 10 times and lost a couple, and they're heartbroken. They can't have a kid. And then there's a little baby on the bank, 2 years old, nobody around. He's like, the son I always wanted, right? I mean, it's still evil intent, but it's still a crime. I'm just saying, as far as sometimes that happens, and it seems like he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, right? That's just what it seems like. And I don't know. I wish there was some kind of cameras, and I don't know if there is, that show this boy in that yard playing. That would clarify a lot of things, right? Because speculation is fixing to start, and it's fixing to go out of control if this child's not found. I can tell you, they're going to eat these parents apart, and I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that, especially if they're innocent. Look at Monkey Vaughn's parents, right? They got drugged through the damn mud and still never quit, right? But they knew they were innocent. But we all didn't at first, right? A lot of us. I mean, I never speculated them as being behind it, but some people did. A lot of people did. And it's truly heartbreaking, because I don't want to see any family go through that, especially if this was just some complete accident, you know. And I know that you shouldn't leave a child that age alone in that yard. Look where they lived, in the middle of nowhere. They weren't worried about somebody coming in their yard. But still, I get it. You know, if you got water that close, you have to be safer than that. Uh-oh. But anyway, oh my God, it's a little dog. Come on, Ruby. That little dog is... Ruby will eat this little chihuahua. Go home, boy. I don't know who you are. I just picked her up. I'm fixing to go to get to the truck and head home. But anyway, guys, prayers for little Dane, please. And let's keep him in our focus and in our thoughts and our prayers. And tonight at the dinner table, just say a little extra prayer for him. Maybe set a little plate for him or something nice. But anyway, guys, y'all be good, be safe. Allegedly, these are my opinions, my thoughts, my theories, my speculation, my free speech, not to reflect the channel. Y'all's comments, y'all's alone. We do our research together. We're a big-hearted little family. Trigger warnings always. Prayers, prayers, prayers for Dane. Prayers for all missing, right? All of them. All the runaways run for a reason. All right, guys, we love y'all. Talk tonight. Bye-bye.